It's cool because with his sweater, we can probably convince people it's actually Paul Ulibarri playing.
Yeah, definitely.
No one will know it's Tim Jones. I might have got it. The new lake at Northwood.
What up, guys? Robert BobbyGitr Hansen here with some casual doubles round coverage we shot out at Northwood Golds in Morton, Illinois. The card will be featuring Brandon Pyell, Sebastian Meraski, Tim Jones, Mark Bailey, Bronson Mintun, and myself. To choose the teams, we did a random flip of the disc style doubles selection. So at first, I felt like the teams might be a little stacked, but I'm going to tell you, they ended up fairly even.
No.
Me and Bronson taking the tee on the first box here. Hole one's a little over 300 feet, but you got to hit this initial gap.
That's it.
So here's me, I'm throwing a legacy rival.
Damn, dude.
Go. Shot it. Chicken good.
And that's what you're looking to do. All right, Brandon to the lefty. I imagine he's trying some kind of turnover here. That's a Maverick, and he just didn't get that left flip. But that's a nice safe one out there. I'd almost go for the instant if I was the lefty. This is Sebastian. Hi. Sorry, Sebastian. We were testing out a new camera and just kind of working on things. So that was some terrible camera work. Mark nailing the line.
There we go.
That was beautiful. All right, here we got Tim Jones. Tim Jones throws quite a bit of a mixed bag, so unless I know exactly what he's throwing, it could be just about anything. Because he throws some Discraft, some Legacy, some Trilogy. Brandon from downtown gives it a good bid. See what Sebastian can do. That is the nice thing about doubles, is you can really run these putts hard.
Nice drive, guys.
Yeah, he just comes up a little bit short.
Nice.
We got Tim for the easy two. And you'll see here's where I ended up with my rival throw.
Good putt.
And that's what you're looking to do, is make the first putt of the day. So that moves us on to iconic hole 2 at Northwood Golds. Used to play as a par 4. 3 still feels kind of like a birdie, even though admittedly it's a bit of a tweener hole. But it's reachable, so par 3 is fair. I'd be remiss if I did not point out that I have aced this hole with a witness. And this is the line you have to take to do it. And I just threw that a little too low, but it ends up in the perfect layup shot, so I'm fine with it. Tim Jones hitting early. Mark doesn't really throw a lot of forehand, so it doesn't surprise me.
There's a line
seeing him kind of take the backhand layup, though he did kick a little farther than what you're looking for.
That's in the middle.
A little clean, and that's safe. That's a plenty safe shot. Brandon, the lefty.
Brandon taking the new line. Is that going to be all the way there?
Oh, man. Nice.
Dude.
Maverick. I just kept...
And this is what we're left with. That's one of the most amazing shots I've ever seen on this hole. It was beautiful. All right, so here's where Tim and Mark faded to. That's the thing about the backhand up shot that I don't like, is you can still get in trouble. Whereas I feel like,
dang,
if I go for it with the forehand, I end up in just as much trouble or less. Like, bad throw, I end up in a layup shot. Whereas with the layup shot, if I throw a bad throw, I'm just in garbage town. Mark, though, he's no stranger to trying to find a backhand gap. And this was ridiculous. Like, I don't know if it shows on camera as well, but they were thick in there. Like, that wasn't a line. Mark just cured it.
it down.
This needs to drop. Oh, well, dropped.
Flat.
Drop shots. So if this is
All right, so I've been working on some flick-up shots with these ruins from it. But it's double, so I thought I'll give it a bit of a bid.
settle, that's good settle.
And that just was never low enough.
Nice.
And unfortunately, Mark's
Get that.
shot still did catch a tree, so they've got about 45 feet from there, maybe
Hit a root. Keep
maybe
it up.
more. Imagine it's about 30-ish to the other side of the bridge. So yeah, no, they're probably about 50 or 60 feet back there.
Yep.
And that'll four. Apologize, we are gonna miss some of the putts and throws here and there. This was just us passing a camera back and forth. We didn't have a camera crew. We only had one camera with us.
Yeah, that one's like a little flip.
So we were trying to conserve
But my more stable
some
plastic
battery
is
life while also filming as much as possible.
kind of like a Marshall kind of a flight.
Brandon ripping on a Faro here, and that was mashed.
Nice. Pharaoh's bomb. That's
Yeah.
So, point being, we'll miss some stuff here and there, especially later on, or especially some of the squirrelier holes. It just gets too hard for one person with a camera to collect his disc and shoot. And again, you know, a little bit of amateur camera work there, but that shot's exactly what I'm trying to do on this hole. I just hyzer flip up a Faro, get to the gap, and if it flexes out, it gives me a little extra. I think that time it kind of crashed and burned a little bit, but
Got one out there.
like it's more shallow, so I don't like finger.
we'll just take mine. Tim Jones just getting it a little too high.
No such thing as too big a hyzer.
Maybe a little bit of swoop on it, causing a bit of nose ups. You get that kind of air bounce throw. I am well acquainted with throwing those. Marks is looking pretty good. A little bit right side. Didn't quite make it all the way to the gap.
That kid shot.
And
Last
they'll
time I
have
played
this.
with that kid, he was like this tall, and that was like 2 years ago.
Way too long.
You can probably
Doesn't
say
show
you're
too
par
well
there
on camera,
anyway.
but Tim hit that line excellently, and he just caught one late branch that would have kept them from having probably a 40-foot putt. Alright, so here's where my Faro ended up. Bronson trying to rip it in there. I think he's throwing a Warden at it.
We're putting from.
Going for the eagle, Robert. Come on.
So I am goaded into trying to run it with a forehand. So I've got a legacy pursuit here. And I just throw it straight into the ground. Beautiful shot from Brandon. Might have come in a little hot, but it looked pretty good. Alright, so here's Tim Jones and Mark after throwing three. Playing a little scramble, but that'll give them the easy 4 on this
All
par
right, now run it.
4. No reason not to run it.
Hard to run right here.
Mark Bailey from deep downtown. Let's go. So Brandon's did sail on them, so they end up taking Sebastian's throw here, I believe. Or Brandon's caught a tree that I didn't see. Ooh.
Anybody got me $1 for a turbo putt here?
I'll give you $1 for turbo.
Here's
putt.
us down
If it
here.
goes in,
Well, yeah.
I won't give it.
Bit
just
of
doing it.
despair.
Oh, that was not a very good. He's like right there. Literally.
Tried to give it a bid. Uphill putts are never easy.
You got one right.
And so somehow the only birdie on the card goes to Tim and Mark, who are in early. That just goes to teach you kids, never give up on a hole. You know, there's always some kind of way to improve your score. Sometimes that's pitching out. Sometimes that's an amazing scramble shot. Sometimes it's luck. But play it out. You know, don't lose hope. That's a theme you could post a sign about at Northwood Golds. Just don't lose hope. Tim's shot ought to work out there. Decent touch by Mark there. I think he's going to be a little bit right. On hole 4, you basically have two choices. You can do a hyzer layup to about the fence area, or you can just rip something silly and try to make it as far down the tunnel as possible.
That's the whole plan, right?
Yeah.
Sebastian just low out of the hand,
That's fine.
but that actually kicked to an okay spot. Our camera work on this hole, we decided to just place the camera on a stump. We, meaning me. Trick flipped by Brandon, and I don't see what happened, but I think he overturned it. Which is hard to say, because he threw it on a decent amount of hyzer, but that is a pretty flippy Maverick. So Bronson's going either Destroyer or Wraith here, I'm pretty sure. So you know he's trying to go down the tunnel. And this disc is straight at that tree. And turned and held pretty decently down there.
All right, I'm going to throw something stupid then.
So I decide.
And the line I'm aiming for is going to look really dumb.
What I was going to
That
do
would be such a good play.
was throw a forehand. Throw it right and let it forehand Annie itself into the gap. Because that's a play I would enjoy. But I get talked into trying this.
No, I love that line.
And that really wasn't that far from working.
That's still going.
Uh,
I might practice
It's a line
that
I'm
again sometime.
definitely going to try again. I don't know if I'd try it in a tournament, but I feel like, I mean, how hard can that roller angle get to be in lockdown? I mean, it could get way down there, guys. So this is where they ended up.
That is a
Kind of pinched by the fence.
That's his Maverick.
Brandon goes, I think it's that same Maverick, and this time he didn't quite get enough flip on it, but he's still pretty far down the tunnel there. Yeah, Mark must have been pinched. I think this is Tim's shot.
Just flip a
That's just
little.
also not getting the flip he wanted. Let's see what Mark can do. Decent pull and just gets a bit too much turn. One of those days, if you could just split your throws,
Right?
you'd have had the tunnel perfect.
It's a little over.
So this is how far down the fairway we were. But not particularly on the fairway. So I'm going to try to do the same thing Bronson does, just Annie a putter, and I also drill it right into the same tree.
I understand.
So here we go. Again, I'm trying to flick a ruin, kind of working on my flick up shots, because it's just a doubles round, no reason not to work on shots a little. And that stayed within about 20. So green light Bronson. Ooh.
Like right as you started.
I don't think I got
All right, so here,
Yeah, me too.
Mark and Tim trying to find a way to save par, basically, at this point. That's well down there. But we must have missed Tim's shot. Everyone ends up parring. There's a lot of ways to par that hole. Tim ripping on an underworld here, and that's just sick.
Stay out there.
I think it turned a little too much at the end, but he's pretty far down there.
Get through there.
And Mark shoots into the worst cabbage in the world,
Though I do think about practicing.
so I'm guessing they're taking Tims. Sebastian, nice pull right in the middle of the fairway.
And then just barely fading out.
Obviously, you want a little more distance, but this is one of the most punishing holes to be off of the fairway that I've ever played, especially early. The earlier you are, the harder it is to save a
I
par.
don't know why there's an iPod in here still, honestly. I realize it.
And you'd think that'd be true for any hole, but
Well, I might take it out.
guys, if you've been in it, you know what I'm
Unless
talking
you want to keep it for a roller one, you should try it.
about. Bronson, I think he's ripping a buzz here,
Good pull.
and that's smashed.
I can
Nice
Yeah, it was a
pull.
buzz.
So that gives me permission to throw any kind of awful shot I want. I've decided to disc up. I'm going Legacy Patriot here. This guy's pretty flippy. And I just
Right.
kind of missed the line, get a little high, so I get the flip I want, but not the angle.
Yeah.
Tournament play, I'm happy with that. Not exactly what I wanted today. That was a great toss. He actually nicked some basket. Oh, beginner doubles mistake. He almost picked up the disc. Caught you.
Mistake.
Yeah, this is a great shot from Tim here. Just out there, kind of able to run it. Throws a kind of floaty putt down in there. That should be fine.
Alright. Hopefully the microphone caught those up, because most people.
Mark, no stranger, just banging putts from everywhere. So see if he just spins it to win it. I'm always impressed by guys like that who can just
That's what you're supposed to do.
spin
We'll
it
come
a
back
good
no matter what.
100 feet if they needed to.
Oh.
Bronny just missed me right. We decided we're going to run this no matter what. No, not quite it.
Let's go.
Cleaning up some pars. And that's really not a worst case scenario on this hole. A lot of things can happen to lead to a bogey. Obviously, you'd think a team could have got the birdie on this, but we all tried hard. Hole 6 can be a little squirrely because it's got a very low ceiling.
Perfect.
It calls for a very specific shot or a very accurate shot. Either way, it's pretty accurate. But the best play is probably this low flex with something overstable. But because the ceiling's so low, it's easy to burn it like what Mark just did. Or overturn it, but this looks like it's carrying. So that wasn't quite overstable enough. And that's the line you run on this hole. Otherwise, you can just rip it straight like Brandon's doing and hope to hit one of the tree gaps. That worked out pretty good. Sometimes I'll attack this with the forehand because there's kind of fewer trees on the left. But that's a really tight hole you're trying to hit.
Oh, dude.
So Bronson, looks like he's maybe hit it. He didn't quite get enough flare back left that you're going to want. But he's got about 40 feet. That wasn't bad at all. So I try to flex on an Emperor, and I just missed my line.
Yeah.
Had I hit my line, that might have been an okay shot.
Well, you look good doing it.
But I didn't.
I got the old school Excalibur Spencer.
Pretty decent up from Tim. They're going to have a little bit of a tester there.
Everybody else is I'm screwing up. No. I was live, but I'm going to edit this. I'm not like live.
Decent up shot from Mark. So they should be able to clean that par up pretty easily. Lofty bid there from Brando. See if Sebastian can ring it up. He's got that kind of old school Bobby music under the arm throw going on. I always respect that. Bronson trying to cash in his own too. And there it is.
Let's go.
Bang, bang. Ooh. All right, so now Mark will have to make this one to save their par. And there it is. Never a doubt in my mind. Good cleanup from Sebastian, and we're moving on. Finally, somebody gets a birdie on a hole, and me and Bronny move back to even with the other gang. That's just overturned for me, but I really like the forehand play on this hole. I know I can hit the gap. To me, the backhand, that tree on the left, just comes into play too soon unless you're like real over on the right on the tee pad. So I just hit it with the forehand. I'm surprised more people don't try to take a low kind of hyzer, but it'd be really hard in the right gap to get all the way to the basket unless you could get an insane amount of skip at the end. I have seen a few people absolutely park the basket with just a straight at it flex, but for me, I don't want to take bogey into play at all. So forehand, worst case scenario, I'll get halfway down the fairway. That was a great pull from Mark. Ooh. Problem is these trees, because they'll just stop you early.
I don't need one like that. Oh, what a help. Get a good help?
Once you get past them, it's not that big a problem. But the green itself is so fast, and since the basket is on a little raised stone thing, I guess we missed all the putts. Not the most exciting. Bronson's probably going to mash a massive roller here, would be my guess. Or he would have. I don't know what that little white line on the screen is. I tried to get it off, so somehow it must have been added on the camera. So somebody must have bumped a button.
That's okay. We like that.
I just wanted that pharaoh to flip a little bit more. Tim's going to be over there with me. If you've ever played this course, you don't really want to be left. But that seems to be where we're all pretty much ending up.
Did you zoom in too?
Brandon going pharaoh again, and this thing is smashed.
You know, it costs like
they are way down the fairway.
And they'll I'd mix that in there, and way cheaper than whatever they'll sell you from them. Get through that. Nope.
I had the power just a little too high. If I had that low enough to stay under those branches, I could have probably gotten us up there for the birdie putt. So Bronny.
Yours fought through though.
Sneaks through the same tree. Just doesn't get enough fade. Here's Mark.
Nice.
Pretty good pull from where they are. At the very least, that should save a par. Ooh. And if that... Yeah, nice pull. This is Brandon's Pharaoh.
Where you get all your...
What are you throwing there?
I'm throwing a Pharaoh.
Oh yeah.
They bomb. Pharaoh's bomb.
Heiser.
Ooh,
Big time.
it's kind of a little right from Sebastian.
Oh, didn't get flippy.
I didn't cook it.
Beautiful shot there. I think he might have gone quite a bit long. But they will definitely be looking at the basket for the birdie.
I don't know really why I did that, but
That's putting.
That'll be a tricky putt for par. See if I can put a little closer.
There you go. Shot.
And that'll do.
A little deep, but
Still at even, right? We're still at even, right? Or I mean, we're one down.
Mark from downtown. Just a little low.
Cash it.
And there we have Brandon
That's why we cuddle.
for the solo 3, I think. Bronson the cleanup par. Oh no.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Me to clean up par.
That's a root.
This is the place the camera on the ground shot. There's a few of these type shots that didn't make the final edit because you couldn't see anything. So there's a few drives that were missed on account of that. But I made the putt. A birdie and 2 pars gives Brandon and Sebastian the box. And this is a nice little turnover from Sebastian. It's just hooking up a little late. If that would have held that turn, they definitely would have been putting. Lefty hole. Oh, but Brandon gets it a little high.
That's not where you want.
Hard to tell where that one ended up exactly. I'm flicking on a slab.
damn it, man.
And this particular run of slab just wasn't very slabby. Had a lot of turn early, so I'm not really sure if it's staying in the bag.
What are you doing? That's better than mine, dude.
Kick.
Yeah.
That was a good looking line from Bronson. Late tree hit, bit of a flare. We might be looking. See what Tim can do. I'll bet this is that underworld again, and that's looking lovely.
Fantastic, Tim.
Oh, that's cooked too much. Oh, doesn't matter.
Now, if you want, I don't know if you'll want to. You can actually step out.
Nice looking pull from Mark, just a little early again.
I'm talking like an actual, like, sideways at it.
This almost looks like they're taking Sebastian's shot. I wonder if
That way you can put some pump on it.
Brandon ended up in those big trees over there. They are a nightmare if you end up in too early.
I gotta
I
give me a
know.
pair of those. Maybe that's what I'll spend my stimulus money on.
Brandon trying to lay up, but gets a big flare.
Can he do it again?
That'll par. Bronson giving it a bid, just
It's still running.
again, kind of to the right today on some of these
General
putts.
direction of the basket thing was the problem.
But doubles, so still got to give it a shot. And I absolutely slipped and fell
Wow. That was a
and
couple of...
threw it into the woods. So we've got this to save our par.
More so than it was in the way.
Whew.
Let's go.
Truth be told, I had already missed at that point. Good cleanup. Everyone ends up taking par. And that's it for the front nine. Join me for the back nine for more delightful coverage of BobbyGitr Casual Doubles in Northwoods.